I had to like stare into the abyss of like deep burnout and incredibly unhealthy behavior of working till the wee hours of the morning and having panic attacks and doing all that to understand just how poisonous it is. And once you like see how destructive it can be for your health and well-being, like it's just a decision. It's like cutting out meat or eating organic or like whatever it is that you need to do to be a healthier version of yourself.
What's your plan now with having I think a 14-month-old and starting this new step towards consulting and coaching and teaching? What, what are like the main themes that you're going to use?
Yeah, I know them. I'm pretty clear on them. One is it has to have some sort of positive impact. Another is that it needs to be super low stress. Another is that it needs to continue to add to abundance, because I have really tried not to just continue to like let people pick my brain and do things for free. That like I do need, in fact, to have revenue coming in. And there needs to be like a sense of ease and excitement about it. So those are like general-ish parameters. And then the things that oh my God, and maybe it is because I'm locked down with COVID. Like we've been really strict 5 months in the house. My mom and dad come up regularly, and so we don't want to put them at risk. And so I've been just like in the house for 5 months. We haven't done anything else. And I think because of that, I might be generating a few too many ideas, but I've got like 4 things that I do right now that I feel like have like fallen in line with that. And one of them is the online classes that I mentioned earlier. I was like, oh my God, that's so like such a sweet spot for me. I can create incredible online courses about things that I'm an expert in: conscious business, purposeful living, all these things that I've been learning about for the last 7 years. And creating online courses creates a wonderful passive income stream as something that it's evergreen content. So like once it's up, it kind of like keeps going and you don't have to do too much to maintain it. And so like the ease, it has impact, there's revenue, like that felt like it checked all of those boxes. I'm doing consulting work where I'm helping young female founders who are just kind of in their first 2 to 3 years of businesses, like not make the same mistakes that I did. And like, there's just like rookie mistakes that we all make as first-time entrepreneurs. And so I've been kind of pairing up as a former CEO with current CEOs and helping them navigate that. I'm working on a project that I'm really excited about with 3 other women. It's called the Firefly Alliance. And we have 2 women of color and 2 white women. And we are creating a leadership academy for women on how to understand racial dynamics and build bridges between white women and women of color. And so we're going to be launching our first cohort in January. So all the things, I get very excited about all the things. I have like 3 other business ideas. I have an invention that my husband was like, let's pump the brakes. Yeah. But just, it's like that. If you give yourself some space and time and general parameters on what you know that you need to live a happy life that you love, then you can kind of like use that as a checklist to go through and take on projects. And so I think my guess is that from here on out, it's going to be like a patchwork quilt hodgepodge of things that I'm excited about. I'm going to be all over the place running around. I can't like contain my excitement, and I only work 25 hours a week. Yeah. Like no more. I won't do it.
That's the rule. And that's what I think in a way, because I'm a creator like you, I have so many things. I mean, I can definitely say the next 3 to 5 years is full of stuff. And that goes back to the time, because, I have to realize what can I accomplish in that period of time, and then accept that. And then also know that the other ideas I have, they don't go away. They're just on, they're just in the ledger, so to speak, or in the thing. And the only other way that we can make those things happen faster is by building teams, right? Because many hands make light work. That African proverb, if you want to go somewhere quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's why I look at that. Okay, is there an opportunity where we can partner with someone, or like how you have different, collectives for each of those ideas that you were just listing off. and then it kind of puts parameters on things. I mean, so it's so beautiful that you're containing it. It's like, okay, I'm going to do as much as I can with all these dreams, but it has to fit in this box. And if it doesn't, then it either gets delayed and it gets, oh, maybe someday, like the invention, or you find that partner, you manifest that person that's their baby, and then you can just be more the advisor and run with it. So how do you stop? So I'm going to get this, just some things pop in my head as we go through these conversations, but so how do you stop at 25 hours? Like, how do you do it? Is that like, yeah, like one day it'll be like all day, or is it like small chunks for 5 days, or like how do you, if you could share a little detail to help others think about this?
It's kind of a forced function for
Okay.
me. I have childcare every day until 2.
That's it.
So at 2 o'clock I stop. And like that's the jam. And like that's, we could have got more childcare in if we had wanted to. And I was like, no, like that's cool. Like when Jack wakes up from his nap, then I'm a mom, and that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's it.
So and then
have a kid.
well, and I love that. See that this goes back to the point, you have to plan something else. For anybody that doesn't have that something else, you have to actually find it. I've had other clients that they don't have kids, and maybe their partner is as aggressive at building things as possible too. But then they have to find some classes, like, oh, I'm going to take a painting class after work or something, right? So with this, how do you then, just curious, so is it full on like, okay, 2 o'clock, you close the laptop, and then how do you deal with like phone stuff, or like, you're pretty good about it, or is there any tactic you could share with others, like what they can do? Because people get caught up, especially if we like keep our phone around us, then all of a sudden you accidentally are like sitting in a chair anywhere in our house and working for 2 hours,
So I don't have notifications on my phone, period. Like
turned off. Yep.
Yep, like they don't exist. So in order for me to like get in, like to see a Slack message or get into my email, I actually have to sign in.
Yep.
Like I log out. Like it's not even that I don't have notifications. Like I log out. I am done. I have a period. So my husband usually stops work at 5, and we both work from home now because that's our reality. And so he takes our son out to the park, and I, from 5 to 5:30, I like do anything else that I need to do, that I like have sat there for the afternoon being like, so 5 to 5:30 is like, I'll pop in, and like, if there's anything else that like I remembered that I was like, can't sleep without doing, I'll take the space for 30 minutes to just like get it done. That's a lot of times where I write my blogs. Like I'll have just like taken the space in the afternoon. I always like go for a long walk with my son, and we like go hang out. And like if I get outside, and then that's inevitably when I'm like, oh, there's the idea. And then I get that 30 minutes. I like write my blogs, I write my email, I do anything that I do there. I make videos. I do a lot of my tutorials during that time. But then 5:30, like again, phone's off, computer shut. I don't reopen. I do not open my computer until 9 a.m. Like, and it's so easy for me to say it, but I think that I had to like stare into the abyss of like deep burnout and incredibly unhealthy behavior of working till the wee hours of the morning and having panic attacks and doing all that to understand just how poisonous it is. And once you like see how destructive it can be for your health and well-being, like it's just a decision. It's like cutting out meat or eating organic or like whatever it is that you need to do to be a healthier version of yourself. I feel like it's as destructive as pesticides. Like it ruins people to have our devices on us all the time. And so I usually don't even answer to like texts. Like if I'm with my son, I'm with my son. So yeah, there's a long litany of answers.
No, it's beautiful. No, this is beautiful, and it echoes a lot of the things that I do. Because you could have you could eat well, exercise every day, and then if you put yourself under that stress or that constant go and not have the recovery, there are people I know that everyone's like, I can't believe they died of a heart attack. They always ate organic, and they were so fit. But the stress is the other component. And I once got to do the marketing for a doctor that was like way ahead. This is like a long time ago, like decades ago, he was already on the mindfulness thing in the United States. Now, granted, he was in California, so we're a little bit ahead of the curve of other parts of the United States, but he basically said you have to also, start meditating or doing something to get that mindfulness and to get away from the stress. And that probably was an influence on me, amongst other things. Like I was telling you, there's so many life things that happen. And I'm glad that you're sharing your story, and so have I, because the reality is we're telling these so you don't have to do that. I mean, you don't have to burn out. And the best metaphor that gets into people for, and I started to say it earlier, but I just want to say it one more time, is that it's like a drill. Like if you ever had, or any battery operated device, especially a drill, I like that because it doesn't have enough power to drill the hole, or if it was like a power screwdriver or something, right? Whatever it is. And then you're like, I'm just going to finish this, right? And then you're like, the last 3 screws or the last 3 holes you're drilling, it's like, and it takes forever, instead of quitting and getting a new battery. And in our case, as human beings, we need to go recover. We need to go rest. And how many of us, and Megan, maybe you've had this experience where you're trying to do something. I've had this experience. You're going, you're into the midnight oil, and then finally you're like, okay, I'm done. And you go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning and you solve the problem in a matter of minutes.
Absolutely.
I'm
gonna put a guesstimate here. 75% of my problems, or I have great new ideas when I'm out walking. If I just take the space, that's every afternoon I get the little stroller out, and 3:30 I head out with my son and we go on an hour and a half long walk. And I have a voice recorder on my phone, because it's always like, inevitably that's the space, because you have to get the space away from it and take the time to recharge. And like going on a walk is what recharges me. I love it. Just being outside is what I need.
Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.